Okay, so you're probably here to find out about this thing. So this all started about a year ago. Yeah, I reckon about a year ago. So from late 2015 to early 2016, so obviously our summer break for us Australians, I was throwing a lot of frisbees. I was throwing at least 500 a day. I was just constantly throwing the whole day, every single day, for all of summer. So when it got to March, my elbow was feeling a little bit sore. It wasn't much of an issue at all at first. I only had to rest it for like 2 or 3 days afterwards, just so I made sure that it didn't hurt when I went back to throwing. So over time it just got a little bit worse and a little bit worse, nothing too noticeable. But it was mostly because of flicks and hammers, just that motion. So the last half of 2016 I was doing mostly backhands because that didn't hurt as much. I just had to avoid flicks and hammers because after 5 throws of those my elbow was starting to hurt really bad. Although I wasn't doing much frisbee throughout 2016, the times that I was doing it still hurt. So I'd been going to the GP mostly in the second half of 2016 and I was instructed to use this thing because at the time the injury that I had with my elbow was called golfer's elbow. So my physiotherapist, is that what it's called? Yeah, so my physiotherapist instructed me to do lots of exercises like this and twisting and lots of weird things that weren't helping too much. And so at the end of 2016, so the start of our summer, it still wasn't much of an issue. I was still only throwing backhands and that didn't really hurt much. But this is where I think it got really bad. The most frustrating trick shot ever. So this video was made in Phillip Island. I found a hill very, very close to our beach house, so I decided why not throw a frisbee off it. I had made a shot off the hill the summer before and I wanted to try again. And my elbow wasn't hurting much when I was making the videos because I was doing backhand, so it wasn't much of a problem. In that week, that was like the most frisbee time that I've done in a long, long time. Combined with frisbee, I was also doing a lot of table tennis, so just a lot of this action, so that wasn't helping either. Yeah, so after Phillip Island, my elbow was feeling pretty sore. So I went back to the GP again and instead of, because I hadn't been doing flicks for quite a while now, so instead of this being sore, which was the golfer's elbow symptoms, like that, I was doing a lot of backhands that last half of 2016 and early 2017. I was doing lots of backhands, so this part, instead of that part, this part was sore. So we went back and we figured out that I had tennis elbow instead, which is a different type of injury. So because the exercises with this thing weren't really working, he just told me to ice it like twice a day and put anti-inflammatory gel on it, but that didn't really make much of a difference either. So as I started the school year in 2017, my elbow was having some problems, so I got this sleeve as a compression thing to like reduce the amount of movement it was giving, so that helped a bit. So eventually we decided to get an MRI, so I guess it's just like a sort of x-ray thing. I don't really understand what it is, but we found out that there's a little hole in the cartilage which like connects the bones or something, I don't know. So I had to wear this thing for a week. So we had the MRI pictures or whatever, and we went to a actual sports medicine person and we figured out that we wouldn't need surgery, but we would just need a lot of rest, like 3 to 6 months. But it was weird because every time I tried to readjust my elbow, there's something clicked inside, and when it clicked, it locked up, or I don't know, got stuck, whatever you want to call it. And it was really painful. And the most recent scan that I've done has been a CT scan, which is basically an x-ray. And what we found out from that was that a little piece of a bone in my elbow has been broken off and it's floating around in my elbow somewhere, so that's just great. Okay, so I found this CT scan and see this bone, this top one, there's a little hole in that area there. Yeah, so a piece of bone's like broken off and it's floated up here somewhere. And then this, in this other picture, see that big circle there? And then if I zoom in, there's like a little tiny thing above the circle that's really hard to see. But that's the little piece of bone that's broken off. And that's where it's gotten to. So to rest my elbow, I've been putting this. And so at the moment, we're currently looking to some surgeons to just talk about what we have to do. And the most likely thing that's going to happen is that I'll have to get surgery to get the bone out and somehow fix my elbow. But it's not like it's just going to magically get fixed after surgery. There's still going to be a lot of rest that's going to be needed. And so that brings us to this current day. So now, because my elbow needs a lot of rest, I can't really do any physical activities, and so obviously a year can do a lot. March 2016, I was a little 13-year-old boy throwing frisbees a little too many times, making my elbow hurt the tiniest bit, and now, a year later, I'm getting surgery. Woo! Go me! And yeah, so that's basically it. I'm gonna keep you updated on my situation, but nothing more to say. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.